يقرأ الفاتحة. There is also a kind request for the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha as Ziyarat Majlis for the Isa al-Sawab of late Abdul Razak Ghulam Hussain Ja'far. Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي جعل الحمد مفتاحا لذكر وسببا للمزيد من فضله ودليلا على آلائه وعظمته، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرضين بأبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. طب القلوب ودوائها ونور أبصارها، وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم وهو أصدق الصادقين وقول الحق: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر، كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون، كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. For the love of Abba Abdullah al-Hussein, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. For the love of Imam Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman, Ruhi wa Arwahu al-Alameen li-turabi maqdamih al-fida, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Once again, we thank Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for gracing us and giving us this moment and this opportunity tonight, being the 11th night of the holy month of Ramadan. We ask Almighty Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala to accept our humble effort in this holy month. And Ya Allah, we ask you, where we made mistakes in the first 10 nights of the holy month of Ramadan, amend those mistakes on our behalf, inshaAllah, and make it easy and possible for each and every one of us to witness the last days and the last nights of the holy month of Ramadan, inshaAllah. That verse or the verses I've just quoted from glorious Quran, no doubt is a known verse to all of us. This is Surah Al-Takathur. And this is a very important chapter of glorious Quran. And it is a chapter which reminds us of our abode and our destiny. And it is a chapter which also teaches us how to conduct ourselves in this world before our time is up to head to Darul Akhirah. Now you know the verse or you know the chapter. If you look at the chapter, it's a very clear chapter. We are told the reason for the revelation of this chapter is that some scholars are of the view the chapter was revealed in Medina, and others are of the view that the chapter was revealed in Mecca. Al-Muhim, the reason for the revelation is a learning curve for all of us. Those who are of the view that the chapter was revealed in Makkah al-Mukarramah, they said there was a debate amongst Quraysh. Some said it was a debate among the Jewish of Makkah al-Mukarramah. What was the debate? They were boasting of what they had. This group will look at the other group and say to them, we have this, we have that, we have this, we have that. And the other group will look at them and responded the same thing. We have this, we have that, we have this, we have that. Then if you look at the chapter, Allah says, Hatta zurtumul maqabir, until they visited graves. You know what does it mean? Those people, they would boast and boast and boast to such an extent they will all go to graves, cemetery. And then they would say, this is the grave of a family member, this is my family member, and this is my family member, this is Fulan from this house, this is Fulan from this house. This is the extent to which they got to. Some scholars are of the view that, no, this boasting that we have in this dunya, I have this, I have that. Our family is this, our family is that. Our business is this, our business is that. Allah is saying, this boasting has completely diverted us from the seriousness of the teachings of Allah. Then, since it has diverted us, we should wait. We will all visit the graves one day. Now, departing from these chapters, or this chapter, we're going to continue from where we left off a night before. Our topic of tonight will be the first night of the grave. If you remember very well, we looked at the pains and the headaches of death. And we also look at Sakarat al-Maut. And we look at Fishari Qabr and outline some important practical approaches that if I and you undertake, we will be able to skip or to stay away from those Sakarat al-Maut and Fishar of the death. And very interestingly, last night, I had iftar with a group of youth, age 10, 11, 12 to 13, 14. And I gave them the opportunity to ask me whatever questions they wanted to ask. So alhamdulillah, they asked their questions, and after that, like the way I did to the young girls, I asked them questions of all my majalis. And alhamdulillah, they were not stuck. They answered all the questions, wallah. I asked them everything that I spoke from the minbar. And they answered, and some of them had questions from some of my lectures. And they also threw that question. So this inspired me, and it encouraged me more to say, we're not just talking, but each and everyone is listening very carefully. And also to say, I received so many questions from the mu'mineen and mu'minat of the community. Some of the questions I've already answered, and some I've not yet answered. And inshallah, I will make sure I answer all those questions before I leave, inshallah, on the 11th of this month. So I think, alhamdulillah, we're getting somewhere, because if you look at the questions that people are asking, they are asking from the same lectures that I've given. This inspired me, and it encouraged me, and I will encourage you to do more, inshallah. If the next speaker, Sheikh Muhammad Abbas, comes, get engaged, ask so many questions for you to be able to fully understand the discourse, inshallah. We're going to look at the first night of the grave, Laylatul Wahsha. We spoke about how difficult it is, if you remember very well, and how serious it is, that first night of the grave. So what are we going to do tonight? We're going to do two things only. The first stage, we're going to look at our immediate responsibilities to the marhumin. There are quite a number of things we need to do to our marhumin immediately they die. You remember I spoke about our responsibilities towards a dying person. You remember that? We spoke about that. And I spoke about ghusl, about kafan, and the callings of the ghusl and kafan. Tonight we're going to do something different. We're going to look at our immediate responsibility. And this is a very, very important. These will automatically change the destiny. This, if we really adhere and try to implement them, it will help our marhumin to receive the benediction and the blessings of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hence, I regard it very, very serious. You know, our beloved Chief Imam was asked of the first night. And as we mentioned, wahsha means horror. So that night is horrific night. It's a very difficult night. Not only to bad people, but to everyone. It's like, as I told you, you move from one place to another. You are given a new house. Before you settle at this new house, it takes time. What of you going 6 feet under? There is no candle. There is no light. There is no water. And the moment you get there, you're going to be raised up. Wake up for questions. So we're going to look at our immediate responsibilities, number one. Number two, we will look at the entire concept of the question of a munkar wa nakir. First, we will look at who are going to ask that question in grave. And what are their names? Because we have different names, which I will share with you tonight. Number two, who are going to be questioned? Because not all of us will be questioned in grave, by the way. So we'll look at those who are going to be questioned. Number three, is our soul going to be questioned alone or no? The question is going to be addressed to both our soul and our body. Number four, we will look at what are the questions that are going to be asked in grave. And then last but not least, we will conclude by looking at some very simple methods. If I and you in this world, promise you brothers and sisters, we put them into perspective, there will be no question. Most of us, we get scared when we have these discussions. But as I said, I know I receive so many messages. People, they get scared. But it's very, very important to get scared so that you use that as something positive to change yourself. And the best way to use that to change yourself is to take these practical lessons and implement them in your life. Now let's begin the first examination. Father is gone. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Mom, gone. Close friend, gone. You have 9 immediate responsibilities to play if you are determined for Allah to forgive that your father and that your mom. The first one, and this is according to the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. When a person is buried during the day, like at Jafar, you lost your father-in-law. Mullah Sajjad lost his brother. Say, for instance, the person is buried during the day. The riwayah said the first responsibility is that at Maghrib time, you will visit the grave of the person. On that day, you visit the grave and you stand next to the grave. What do? Imam Jafar said you ask for forgiveness on behalf of that person. This is a very immediate responsibility that we have towards our marhumin. You just stand there in your own language, in English, in Gujarati, in Urdu, whatever. Said, Ya Allah, forgive Dad. Ya Allah, forgive my friend. Ya Allah, forgive my uncle. Imam Zain al-Abidin said, it will be more preferable if a son goes to the grave of the father on the day of the burial of the father at Maghrib time and ask forgiveness on behalf of his father. Imam Zainul said, before you reach back home where the soul of your father left, God the Almighty will forgive the father. See how simple it is? But we don't do. We bury, we come back, we get excited, we forget. Rather, we come and eat. Everybody is rushing to come back to the mosque and greet each other and eat. When it is the sunnah of Islam that when a person loses his loved one, he does not cook for 3 days. Mu'mineen and mu'minat should send food to them. Not when the person has to donate, niyaz towards this, and then we do the food. No. Sunnah said that 3 days. The person should not have any contact with kitchen and food. We should rather send the food to that person. And even our beloved Sif Imam said, when we visit our loved ones on the day of their burial at Maghrib time and ask Allah for forgiveness on their behalf, Imam Jafar said, Allah will illuminate that grave with his light from Jannat al-Firdaus. We love our fathers. We love our mothers. We love our brothers. Instead of standing and crying, go there. When there is no one, we have all come back. That is our immediate responsibility according to the teachings of Islam. Now let's look at the second responsibility, which is very, very important. Within that one day, all these responsibilities within that one day, because wahsha is not easy. Wahsha is very difficult. So you're going to do it within that day for Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to change completely the mood of the grave. Second responsibility, Imam said, give sadaqah to people who are in need. Listen very carefully. You don't cook for mu'minin, mu'minat who come here to the mosque. Mistake. That is hadiyah. You get reward. It's not sadaqah. That's hadiyah. It's not sadaqah. You can afford, I can afford. She can afford, you can afford. Sadaqah, on that moment, you go and find poor people who are in need and give sadaqah to them on behalf of your marhum father or mom or your close friend. You know what the riwayah said? This is a very beautiful riwayah, wallah. When I saw this riwayah, I said, Allahu Akbar. Allah will find every excuse to give us Jannah. The Holy Prophet of Islam said, if we give sadaqah within that moment on behalf of our marhumin, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will send 70,000 angels to that grave and they will illuminate the grave of that person because of the sadaqah. That's number 2. Number 3, dua, any form of dua. Sif Imam said during that moment, keep du'as. Allah bless his grave. Allah bless his soul. Like one of these dua, Allahumma adghil ala ahli al-qubur. We want Allah to give them surur. Surur means happiness. Surur means comfort. So the third immediate responsibility, dua, engross in dua. Get engaged in dua. It's better, as I mentioned the other night, people come after that, this old mobile phone, call people, laughing, pushing this one, talking about dunya, when your mom, your father, your close friend is there, crying for your dua, crying for your forgiveness, crying to say, if my people know my situation, they would have gone and sit together and remember me with one Fatiha. So our third, take this, I told you these are very simple lessons, really. This is not difficult. You remember my point? We have to go back to basics. And these are the basics I'm talking about. These are not philosophical issues. These are very straightforward things. but it matters in the eye of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 4, I personally, I wrote this thing and I stick it in my room and I put it in my will. Whoever take my will, instead of sitting doing something, do this thing for me, I beg you. And every year I revoke it and I write it boldly. Because it's very important. I need my qiyamah, you need your qiyamah. Number 4, which is very, very important. Our Imam said, from that day of the burial, you begin reciting Quran, and the aim is to complete the Quran on the 40th day. On Arba'in. So from that day, you bury, you come back, you get few people. What do? Let's begin Quran. Quran. If you cannot recite, you have muallimus, you hire them, you pay them. But the target is not to complete the Quran on the same day. You complete it on the 40th day. Why 40th day? Many people don't wait for 40. After 23 days, after 30 days, they said we're doing Arba'in, Chehelom. Who said Chehelom is like that? Chehelom must be 40 extra. You know why? Because narration says, when a person dies and is taken to cemetery and grave, his soul makes Safa and Marwa to and fro, from the grave to the house, from the grave to the house, to see, will I make dua? Will Maulana make dua? Will I change my akhlaq? Will you change your akhlaq? The soul will settle on the 40th day. That is why on the 40th day, we come together, we recite Quran, we make dua, we recite Masa'ib of Ahl al-Bayt. So this is very, very important. Many people are lazy. On the 23rd day, they say, Chekelom, I have a journey, I have to travel. I have to go somewhere. Fine, go somewhere. You can let people say it and commemorate that 40th. Number 5 responsibility, which is very important. If the person happens to owe any salah, which is likely sometimes we owe salah, our Imam said, go stand next to the grave and pay at least 1 salat on his behalf at that place. So you are at the cemetery, you locate the Qibla, say he owe 10 years, 5 years, 1 day. You stand there, and then at least you pay Zohr on behalf of that. Then you go home later, you'll sort out the rest. Narration says, if it happens that he owes nothing, offer 2 rak'at next to the grave. And that 2 rak'ah will illuminate his life of a barzakh. See, there are work to do. We just go through and come back. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha. We come back, we go. And the marhum I mentioned is crying. Oh, people, spend time. I need your dua. I need maghfirah. I've seen what you've not seen in your life. Number 6, which is very, very important. Our Imam said, get 30 people and share Quran amongst them equally. Different from the 40. Get 30 people, share Quran amongst them equally, and let them complete the whole Quran on that day. Because every separa is 30, the Quran is divided into 30. Let them recite all the same day. You will see the mercy of Allah. In fact, you will be able to see the person in your dream, and you will be astonished how maghfirah he has received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The 7th point, which is very important. Imam said, cook food and feed at least 50 masakin. 50 masakin. Different from the sadaqah. Sadaqah, you can give any sadaqah, there's no problem. But this one, no. You're going to cook food on that day, if you are capable, and you feed 40, rather, 40, not 50, 40 masakin. You give them on behalf of your marhum. And Allah tabarak wa ta'ala will forgive that marhum's sins. And then the last two. If you know anyone who is in Karbala, anyone who is in Mashhad, anyone who is in Qom, in Madinatul Munawwara, quickly call the person. This is a riwayah. Let him offer special ziyarah at that moment on behalf of your marhum. Ziyarah niyabi on behalf of your marhum. And the last one, we are told, immediate responsibility is to recite ziyarah to Ashura of Aba Abdullah on behalf of that marhum. These are our immediate responsibilities towards our loved ones who have departed and we have just buried them, and they have begun with their life of barzakh. There is the last one, which is very, very important, and we often, alhamdulillah, do it at our mosques. The Holy Prophet is reported to have said, Laylatul Washa ashaddul layali lil amwat. The night of horror is the most difficult night for the amwat, for our marhumin. Then Rasulullah said, if you want to ease that more, offer Salatul Wahsha. How many of us do Salat Namaz Wahsha? Mosque announce, people don't care. I give you an example. There was a scholar, Thikatul Islam Nuri, famous with his hikayat and writings. He reported from a scholar, Hasan Ali Sultan Abadi, that Hasan Ali Sultan Abadi, he has developed a habit that every night he will offer namaz wahsha. And they would ask him, why are you offering namaz wahsha? Then he said, no, this goes to any mu'min and mu'mina marhum in the world, those I know and those I don't know. It's 2 rakat, he made it a habit. Now this Sikatul Islam reported, he said, there was a day I was walking in the city and I met this man. And this man was telling me, do you know this Hasan Ali Sultan Abadi, meaning this guy who offer namaz washa every night? He said, yes, I know him. What's the story about him? He said, no, I saw someone in my dream and he mentioned his name. They said, what is the dream? He said, we lost a person and we buried this person. And I kept asking Allah, Ya Allah, show me the situation, because we have amal which you can do to see your marhumin. We have that. Show me my beloved brother that we have just buried, what sort of situation he is in. Then he said he saw the brother, and the brother said that Allah has forgiven me and he has shown me mercy. Then I asked the brother why. Then he said, because there was 2 namaz wahsha performed on your behalf by Hasan Ali Sultan Abadi. And the good thing about namaz wahsha is what, brothers? I'm encouraging you. Let's go back to the basic teachings of Islam and build our communities through this. We love one another not only in dunya, even when they go to akhirah, we come together, we remember them with our du'as. That is a real love, wallahi. But I claim to love you. I die, mosque announced, I've seen most of our mosques. Namaz waqsha is announced, 2 rak'at, people cannot do. What sort of love you are showing to your marhumi? And Ahlul Bayt taught us this, to show this love to them. And riwayah said, if you offer namaz waqsha on behalf of any marhum, if you happen to die and there is no one to offer for you, Allah will command the angels to do it on your behalf. What else do you want? I thank our mosques. Other mosques, nobody announced. But our mosque, worldwide, it is announced, emails are sent. Rush and compete in doing it for your akhirah. Compete in doing it for your akhirah, because akhirah matter is better than dunya. And the Holy Prophet of Islam made it very clear. If namaz waksha is offered on behalf of a marhum, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, this fascinates me, send 1,000 angels to that grave, and they illuminate that grave with the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Rasulullah said, Huzaifa reported this riwayah, whoever offer namaz waksha on behalf of a particular marhum, when his time is up to depart, Allah will send the angels to welcome him to Dar al-Akhirah. Not only they will offer on your behalf, they will welcome your soul to Dar al-Akhirah. So therefore, namaz waksha is of great importance. When you are told, whether you know the person or you don't know the person, rush and do it. And I repeat this word. You remember I mentioned this. When it comes to janaza, we are too choosy. I mentioned this, and some brothers said, emphasize on it. We pick and choose. Which janaza do I go, which janaza I don't go. Some people die, 7 people come. No, we don't know him. He's not known in the community. Flan, namaz waksha is a norm. But when he sees that pass away, he will call you even middle of the night. Please, can you do namaz waksha? The way you need it, the other fellow also need it. And doing it will go a long way. Because there is a relationship between Amwat and those who are alive. We'll touch it a little bit on the last night. Their souls and our souls, Allah ensure there is a relationship. And narration says every Thursday night, some say Friday, Allah will release the soul of the marhumin and let them go and stand next to their houses. And said some of them will go back to their barzakh crying because the house is engrossed in haram and not remembering them. That is why we are told in the riwayah, if there is a better day to remember our marhumin, it's Thursday night, Friday, and on Eid day. They need you more than the way they needed you in dunya. Believe me or not. Wallahi, I'm in this dunya, I may require some money, I may require some building, I may require some medication, and sometimes you feel really edgy and disturbed and looking for that thing to be fulfilled. It doesn't fulfill, you get perturbed, disturbed. Wallah, those in barzakh, their need are higher than what you can think of. And these are simple things Islam want us to do so that we are able to get them into that rahmah and maghfirah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the first examination. Therefore, when we make dua, adkhil ala ahli al-qubur as-surur, we should remember, it's not just making this dua, but we have responsibilities towards them. Second stage of the examination is the question of a munkar wa nakir. You remember? It is sakarat. It is wahshatul qabr. It is fishar. And then munkar wa nakir. And munkar wa nakir, they come in different forms. So they've got 2 names according to riwayah. Said when they come to a mu'min, The name is Mubashir and Bashir. But when they come to hypocrites, the name is Munkar wa Nakir, or Nakir wa Nakir. Munkar Nakir means what? A denier, somebody who denies the truth. And narration says once the person is buried, as we are studying making the tanzil, you know, people love this tanzil. We love tanzil. It's very important. I will speak about it in a day to come or 2 nights to come. Munkar wa Nakir, they will come. Now, who do they ask? Do they ask every dead person? No. There are those who are asked, and there are those who are not asked. Our beloved Chief Imam explained, there are 2 groups of people who will receive the question of Munkar wa Nakir or Mubashir or Bashir. Imam Jafar said, يسألاني من مهد الإيمان مهدا ومهد الكفر مهدا. They will ask 2 people only. The one who is extreme in his disbelief in Allah, and the one who is extreme in his love for Allah. So there are those, maybe like us, in between. There will be no that question. Sakarat is enough. But those who've got a higher form of belief and iman, Allah will ask them just for confirmation and not for any punishment. And those who are hypocrites and their belief is very, very weak, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will send the Munkar wa Nakir to ask them. And narration says, seeing the Munkar wa Nakir alone is a punishment. Now, how do they ask? We are told the moment a person is buried, they come, they wake you up. And they said, you sit in the grave. You're going to sit like the way you are sitting. And they will begin to ask, may Allah save us and protect us. Narration says, when they ask you and one is unable to answer, they hit you. You get whipped. And someone once said, you get pushed by them and pressed by the earth, and you get released again. And inshallah, bihaqq al-Hussein, we will not see this, inshallah. Now, what do they ask? 4 things. But to be able to respond, you have to be good here. And I told you one condition only, you have to be mukhlis. Ikhlas. Wallah. You can know Arabic more than any other person. But so long as you are not sincere in this dunya, so therefore you remember I'm urging, whatever you do, you serve the community, be sincere. If you are sincere, then it's easy, you will go easy. But this question, I'm raising them because I want to urge our madrasas and our teachers and the leaders of our community to take these lessons seriously and ensure that our children are taught this lesson. If madrasa doesn't teach, find a way and teach and educate your children. First question, Man Rabbuk? Your Lord. Aqaid. Our aqaid is weak. Existence of Allah, unity of Allah, justice of Allah, attribute of Allah. Today, the question that the world has about Islam and our youth have about Islam, they will ask, if Allah is just, why others are poor and others are rich? If Allah is just, why earthquake that side and no earthquake this side? So therefore, the question about aqa'id and the oneness of Allah, which is referred as Tawheed, I personally believe that is something we have to teach in our madrasa. Because if you look at the diniyat we teach, it's very shallow and weak. They go to university, they meet atheists, they are unable to answer these questions. So no wonder the first question in grave will be Man Rabbuk? Who is your Lord? And the second question, Ma Dinuka? What is your religion? Today many people equate other religion to Islam. And this is something we need to take it very seriously in imparting a proper knowledge about Islam and the understanding of Islam to our children. Today you meet a Shia, you ask him very simple question. Why do you think Shia are right? He can't answer. Why do you think Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen is legitimate successor of the Holy Prophet? Deen. So the second question in the grave will be, Ma dinuka? What is your deen? And this I'm encouraging you. From time to time, organize workshops, organize seminars, and educate the entire membership of our community when it comes to these important matters of Islam. So that we are able to represent Islam properly. We do not blunder wherever we find ourselves. But alhamdulillah, last night when I asked the children, why do they think that Islam is the right religion? Wallahi, they responded beautifully, and I was happy. The third question, Man Nabiyuka? Who is your prophet? The question in Kabari is not that important. What is important is to learn it here. Prophethood. We need to learn. To such an extent, the Holy Prophet of Islam said, if you are blessed with 3 sons, and you fail to name one of them Muhammad, you have ignored me. Sallallahu mentioned that. And he said, in any house, like the way he mentioned about having Fatima in the house, where there is a name Muhammad, that house will see khair in the morning and khair in ever afternoon. Is to inform us of the importance of nubuwah. Why do we need prophethood? What are the characteristics of prophets? Why can't Allah talk to us directly? Why sending prophet to us? Last night the children asked me the same question. Why can't Allah talk to us? Why sending us prophet? These are children of 12 years, 13, 14 years. So the su'al or the question of Munkar wa Nakir has to do with our Aqidah. And the last question, Ma imamuka? Who is your imam or man imamuk? So this is Aqidah. You know, you have fiqh, you have aqaid. Fiqh, you make taqleed of our maraji'. But aqaid, you apply your common sense. Aqaid, you apply your intellect. Now I stand there, whoever goes out, I ask you, prove to me Imam Ali is ma'soom logically. I'm going to stand there after the majlis. We're going to see who's going out. Are you ready? If you are ready, one big salawat. So we're going to do it after the majlis. We close that door. No, don't worry. Next time when I come back to Mombasa, inshallah. But this is very, very important. That we have to take theological discussions to the next level. But now what is beautiful is that Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu was salam taught us there are certain things when we do towards the mayyit, or if the mayyit before the person dies, he does it for him or herself, he will not see munkar wa nakir. In fact, he will go to Qiyamah and be surprised. Why Maulana mentioning on the member, we will see Munkar wa Nakir, but there is nothing. The first one is Talqeen. Talqeen. And it is mustahab to recite 3 talqeens. I will tell you where. According to the teachings of Ahlul Bayt, when talqeen is being recited in a correct recitation, Munkar wa Nakir, even if they come, they will tell the Mayyit, it has already been answered on your behalf. We have no issue with you. Allahu Akbar. First place of talqeen, narration says, when the soul is departing. You realize the guy is struggling. You remember, وَكِيلَ مَنْ رَاكَ وَظَنَّ أَنَّهُ الْفِرَاقِ وَالْتَفَّتِ السَّاقُ بِالسَّاقِ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْمَسَاقِ. Now the soul is departing, is going. Instead of standing there, oh, I'm sorry, miskin, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. We are told it is highly recommended you recite talqeen there. Maybe before the soul goes out, the person will be able to say Ali wa Fatima and Hassan and Hussein. And the second place where talqeen is highly recommended is when you have poured the soil, as we do, before pouring the soil. You put the person inside, you make a pillow out of the sand for him so that he can lean properly. You open the face and the ears, and then you hold the ears, you tighten it a little bit. That is just a symbolic act to show a bit of seriousness. You hold the ear a little bit, not like macho, you want to destroy the ear. A little bit, just it's a symbolic act. And then someone, Maulana, whoever who knows how to recite can recite. The third one, which we do also, when all left cemetery, close family members, listen very carefully. Close family members. Okay, if they are not there, any mu'min can do tabarru and do it. But when we have all gone, you remain behind and then stay there and recite the third talqeen. Narration says if talqeen is recited in these 3 areas or in these 3 stages, it will bring Allah's sympathy and Allah's mercy on that marhum. Number 2, marhum himself, if he's smart, while he was alive, there are things he should be able to do, and then he will not even see Munkar wa Nakir. And some of those things were those things that I mentioned before. It repeats itself in the narrations of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. One of them is that an tuhsina ruku'ak, is to perfect your ruku'. You remember I mentioned that. The same way when it comes to Munkar wa Nakir, you know, some people when they go to ruku', as I mentioned, they don't do proper ruku'. Some Allah Akbar, some Allah Allah. They just go, I don't know, man. He said you have to ihsan al-ruku, tahsin al-ruku. The one who does ruku properly, he will not see Munkar wa Nakir. And then Imam said another line which I mentioned also, anyone who visits the sick ones, somebody sick you visit sincerely, then you will not receive the question of Munkar wa Nakir. Number 3, Ihya Laylatul Qadr al-Kubra. Making good use of the greatest night of Qadr, which is the night of the 23rd. Because our beloved Imam, Chief Imam, made it very clear. He said the night of the 19th is Laylatul Ibram. It is the night when you decide what you want from Allah. Budget. Like Cabinet Secretary for Finance, when he's coming to read his budget in the parliament, business people, everybody, all your tax. How to clear my goods from the airport, Haji Jafara? How do we clear the goods? So now cabinet secretary is coming, everybody. Let's see what's going to happen. The same way Laylatul Qadr is the budget of Allah. But when you ask Laylatul Qadr, don't just ask for dunya, ask for the love of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. That is why Riwayah said, Man arifa Fatima faqad adraka Laylatul Qadr. Whoever knows Fatima, he will be able to find Laylatul Qadr. What does it mean? Imam said, if you make good use of Laylatul Qadr, wallah, there will be no question of Munkar wa Nakir. So the 19th is Ibrahim. You decide what you want. The second one, Imam said, the night of the 21st is the night to reaffirm what you ask on the first night. This is how these things go. And the last one, Laylatul Imda. It is the night of approval, which is the night of the 20th. So Imam said, you ask for the love of Ahlul Bayt. And if that love boils in your heart, and you go by the instructions of Ahlul Bayt, Allah, rest assured, there will be no any question of a munkar wa nakir. And then, of course, the next one, which is very, very important, is Salah. Salat. How many times Maulana Sayyid we mention Salat on this member? Salat. Khams. Okay, Riwayah said Zakat, but our scholars, when they interpret, they are Khams. Let me explain them, then I go to them. There are 6 things. Salah, we all know. How many times I explain about its importance? We have a very beautiful mosque, Imam Bara. After Ramadan, I'm told it's empty. You know what Prophet said? Prophet said 3 things complain. I mentioned that in the mosque. How do they complain? Angels complain on their behalf to Allah. Number 1, empty mosque. Most of you, you are mobile, you have cars. Or you come salat 5 people. Three people. And you want, if you die, Allah bring angels to pray for you. The mosque complain to Allah. And it cries to Allah in its own way. So I encourage you and I motivate you. Let's make good use of our mosques to seek nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 2, Quran. You have Quran in the house, in your shelves, and nobody bothers to recite. But the good thing about Mombasa, you know, this Ramadan, you have even a great scholar of Quran teaching here. International, renowned reciter. You don't make good use of it, angels complain. And the third one, of course, an alim, you have a scholar, people don't make good use of that scholar. Angels complain on behalf of that scholar. So number 1, you want su'al of munkar wa nakir not to come. Everybody make time after Ramadan. You cannot use Ramadan to judge. We only use after Ramadan to judge. I said Muharram, Ramadan, don't judge people coming. Every night people come to the mosque. No worry about people coming in Ramadan and Muharram, really. And Safar. Although Safar a bit less, but people come. After Ramadan, we will see who are triumphant and who have successfully passed Allah's exams in the holy month of Ramadan. Number 2 is the khams. You know, today what disturbs me? Really, it disturbs me as a person. When people want to talk about our marja, they think marja eat khums. Some even got to a point of questioning the credibility of marja. He doesn't know accounts. And because of that, some don't want to pay. But the Homs is the power of Shi'i Islamic community. And what I love about our marja is that they give us permission to use our homes. Whoever fails to pay Homs, you are eating the haqq of Ahl al-Bayt. See, Quran said, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ. Give the near of kings their rights. Some scholars commented, the first near of kings are Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And their right is not just to be obedient to them, or you use them for your own tawassul because you need something. You make tawassul, ya wajihan indallah, ishfalana indallah, which is excellent. Pay your homes. When you pay tax, you go and ask for accountability. You pay because the receiver will come and clean you big time. So number two, if you want the reference to this, I will give you. Ask me, I will give you. I will give you the reference. Anyone who doubt, ask me, inshallah, I will give you the reference. You want rahat in qabr without questioning, pay your homes. And the good thing, whoever the marja appointing him and has given them the ijaza, if you trust the marja, you pay. But if you think the person is eating the money, na'udhu billah, you report to the marja'iyah. And our marja made it very clear, when I give ijaza, don't carry that money and send it there. Give locally. So that you are able to lift your community and to lift your people. Sistani, may Allah prolong his life. He give ijaza. So that is number two. Number three, birrul walidain. I mentioned that. Obedience to parents. I think it came in one of my discourses. And it's coming here again from our beloved Imam. You want inside to be okay? Wallah. You see, I'm saying wallah. Spend time with your fathers and mothers and seek their blessings. What riwayah said, if you have a marhum father or mom who are buried next to you, maybe in the same city, and you are looking for something, and your hajat is not being fulfilled, this is a riwayah, visit and pass salam to them, and after that ask Allah for the fulfillment of your hajah. You will come back and find your hajah waiting for you. Obedience to our parents. It makes life of barzakh easy. You don't have to go through all these bridges because your father is happy. Look at what Quran is saying. وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. If your father and mom, they force you to go against Allah, don't do that. But upon all, be kind and obedient to them in dunya. Those of us here who have our parents at the cemetery, how many times you visit them? But you can go for holiday somewhere. They squeezed water out of stones to brought you up. You are who you are because of your parents. The least you can do when they are alive to respect them and be obedient, and when they die, you remember them by visiting them, because when you visit them, Allah tells them, Fulan, your son is here to visit you. That is number 3. Number 4, as-siyam, fasting. Alhamdulillah, we are all busy with fasting in this holy month. It also helps to do away with munkar wa nakir completely. And the 5th one is al-hajj wal-umrah. Hajj and umrah. Whoever goes for Hajj today, unfortunately, there are people of very limited knowledge amongst Shias who say, no, I will not go to Saudi Arabia. I said, Banna, we are not talking of Saudi as a country. We are looking for people to go and stand next to Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba and say, Assalamu alayka ya Hassan al-Mujtaba. Abu Abdullah received millions. Who will go to pass that salam to Imam al-Baqir and Imam Zain al-Abidin? So hence it's very, very important, al-Hajj wal-Umrah. Rasulullah said, whoever goes to Hajj and Umrah, in fact, our resident one riwayah, he said, whoever is being given the capability and he undertake Hajj and Umrah 4 times, he will not receive any judgment on the day of Qiyamah. And if you read the lives of our Imams, how many times they go for Hajj and Umrah? And the last one is a wilaya of Ahlul Bayt. Therefore, narration concludes by saying, when a mayyit is placed down, the salat will be on his left, right. Allah will create salat in a different form. And then the sawm, fasting, will be on his left. And then now you have your zakat and khums in his front. And then you have obedience to parents at the back. And then you have your hajj on umrah next to his feet. And on top of his head you have the wilaya of Ahlul Bayt. But then narration says, that one on the top will be illuminating more than any other one. Then the mayyit will ask, what is illuminated like this? He said, that is his obedience to Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. And last but not least, if you truly want Allah Ta'ala, this is uniquely to Shia. Most of the things I mentioned is not entire Muslim, but derived from Ahlul Bayt. Is to convene the majalis of Ahlul Bayt in your houses and on behalf of your marhumin. Imam Ali said, Al-mutazawiruna fi ihya'i amrina. Our Shias are those, they meet, they visit one another to give life to our affairs. You have an office. When did you have a small majlis of Imam Hussein in your office? In your house, when did you have a majlis of Aba Abdullah in your house? It doesn't just bring only barakah, but it illuminates your grave, and your qabr becomes a hub of Allah's light. And you are granted Jannat al-Firdaus. So in conclusion, I plead with you, brothers and sisters, take these lessons very, very seriously. And try as much as you can to implement these lessons in your life. Tomorrow, inshallah, what we're going to do is, now they are dead for many years. So long as we are alive, what are our duties towards them? And it will be a bit detailed. They have gone, like some of us, our fathers, our mothers. What are our duties up until the moment we depart from this world? We'll look at that, and then of course we'll conclude by looking at the philosophy of the punishment of Akhirah. Why should Allah punish us? Why all these scary things? Why the scorpions in the grave? Why all these things? And inshallah, I hope by the end of our discourse, each and everyone will do a bit of self-introspection and try as much as you can to reform in your own way. And inshallah, once you make that effort and determination, God Almighty will not leave you alone. Allah will ensure that He will hold your hand and He will take you to the rightful destination in dunya and akhirah. We conclude by taking our hearts to the holy land of Karbala. No doubt, the owner of the Masa'ib of Karbala is Imam Sahib al-Asr. In his famous Ziyaratul Nahiya, which we all know, وَلَا أَنْدُبَنَّكَ صَبَاحًا وَمَسَاءً وَلَا أَبْقِيَنَّ عَلَيْكَ بَدَلَ الدُّمُوعِ دَمًا. Oh my Master Hussein, I will cry for you day and night, and I will mourn for you blood instead of tears. Now narration says, on that night of Gariba, the most darkest night arguably in the history of mankind. We know the first incident which we mentioned last night, they trampled on the body of Abu Abdullah. But you know, Arbab al-Makatil said before then, when they looted all the belongings from the body of Abu Abdullah, there was this last one who came. He was looking for something to take. So he saw the ring on the right hand of Abu Abdullah. He tried to remove the ring from the finger. He tried. Allahu Akbar. But he could not succeed. You know what he did? You all know. He asked for a sharp knife. As simple as it is, he cut off the finger of Abu Abdullah. That is why we are told on Sham-e Gariba, when Sayyidah Zainab alayha salam, she was going around trying to cover the bodies and to find and to identify. All of a sudden she stopped and began to cry. Arbab al-Makatil said, why did Zainab stop and cry? Because she saw the piece of the finger of Abu Abdullah. Not just the piece, man, as Arbab al-Makatil mentioned. When the lady Daylam gave that piece of clothes, said, go and cover Zuhair for me. He came back with that piece of clothes. She asked him, why did you not cover? Haven't you seen Zuhair? He said, I saw Zuhair, but I couldn't cover Zuhair because I saw Hussein uncovered. But the last one which they did, and is so hurtful, after trampling the body and cutting off the finger, they began to burn the tent of Abu Abdullah. Zainab was going up and down to protect the children and the women. But narration says there was this young lady, Sakina. Which of course Abu Abdullah taught her when the news of the Shahada of Muslim bin Aqil reached Hussein. Hussein all of a sudden stood and faced the direction of Kufa. Wa alayka salam ya Muslim ibn Aqil. Abu Abdullah began to pet on Hamida, the daughter of Muslim bin Aqil. Sakina came, what is happening? Is she yatima? Allah Arbab al-Makatil said, Sakina, you will know the meaning of yatima when shimmer begin to slap on your cheek. On that night, the cloth of Sakina started to burn from behind her. And she met Hamid ibn Muslim. And she asked him, oh man, are you with us or against us? The man said, I am neither with you nor against you. She said, oh man, have you recited these verses of Quran? He said, what do you mean, girl? She said, have you recited فَأَمَّ الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ? When you see an orphan, Do not scold and shout at an orphan. He said, yes, what do you mean? She said, Ana yatimatu Aba Abdillah. I am the orphan of Aba Abdillah. She said, oh man, have you recited wa amma sa'ila fala tanhara? He said, yes, I've recited. What do you mean? She said, oh man, show me the direction of Najaful Ashraf. He showed her the direction. You know what she did? She looked at that direction. She said, Assalamu alayka ya Amir al-Mu'minin. Where were you, my grandfather, when they chop off the two hands of Abul Fadl al-Abbas? Where were you, my father, when Shimr sat on the chest of Aba Abdullah? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. Raise up your hands, brothers and sisters. Let's make dua. We ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to grant us His maghfirah. Ya Allah, we ask you, we are your slaves and we are your servants. Where we make mistakes in our lives, Allah, amend those mistakes on our behalf. Ya Allah, we ask you, our marhumin, especially the brother Tumullah Sajjad and father-in-law of Hajj Jafar, and all the marhumin, we ask Allah to grant them Jannat al-Firdaus. We ask Allah, when our time is up to depart from this world, grant us the exit of Muttaqeen and the exit of Abrar, inshaAllah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى اللهم على محمد وآله الطاهرين.